about Trent. As you watch him come through and getting to play more this year because he's not hurt right now, he seems like such a willing tackler in the run game as a smaller guy. Where does that come from, and how appreciative are you of that?
His parents, obviously, and his probably pee-wee coach up through high school as well as college. One of the things that we do every Wednesday, we go over to the sled and we hit the sled. It's like a 5-man sled. And I stand behind the sled, and as you're hitting the sled, you can actually, as a coach, feel the striking thrust of a player and how much power he has coming out of his thighs and his hips going through his core. And Trent, and I've been saying this for 2 years, every time he hits the sled, I'm surprised at how heavy-handed he is. It's not Leo Chanel, but at the same time, this young man is explosive coming out of his hips. And so the willingness to tackle, just as you said, is very important, and he's been doing it from day one, and he understands the run fits, and you just try to make it simple for him as far as find out where your linemen are and go to the gap where you don't see the big, wide body that's there. And he's done a great job of understanding fits.
No coaches don't exactly love PFF, Pro Football Focus, but he's the highest graded cornerback in the league. Do you see that in him?
I did not know that, and I see that and more. I mean, Trent right now is playing at a very high level. The young man, he studies. He's probably one of the smartest DBs that I've come across at this age, as far as going into his second year. And so the PFF and all the rankings that they have, they obviously have been watching the film because he's been playing some good football for us, and we need that.
What's impressed you most when you're rewatching him?
What's impressed me most is his patience. His patience at the line of scrimmage, his ability to switch up techniques. He plays 3 different press techniques, and he's able to perform all 3 of them at different times. And so, but his patience and his ability to be able to execute the techniques that we're asking him to execute has been phenomenal.
Dave, with the receiver like Garrett Wilson, what do you have that's on the secondary that they need to be mindful of with them and keep eye on?
His releases. This young man is very quick laterally, and he can get into his vertical route instantly and suddenly. And so his releases. And so how do you negate speed? How do you stop speed? Somehow, some way, you have to stop it at the line of scrimmage from getting vertical. And so, but with the young man, at his talent, I mean, you know, he came out of course, college as a great player. And so he's actually showing that even right now. The catch that he made down in the red zone on the sideline, my gosh, you know, you're talking, I've been around some good ones in New York, from Amani Toomer to Plexico Burrs to the young Odell Beckham. But his concentration and his ability to be able to get in and out of breaks is very, very good for those guys. And we're going to try to do our best to make sure that we eliminate the vertical release.
And with
One
your,
more.
sorry, and with your secondary there, what do you have to kind of talk with them to be part of the run game, be physical, but at the same time not bite to where they go over the top?
That's right. So there's a progression that we take within each one of our defensive calls, whether it's man-to-man or whether it is zone. And so the progression, there are some keys. And one of the main things that I talk about is alignment, technique, keys, and assignment. You know, I call it ATCA. So your alignment on a man, your keys, meaning where your eyes are going to be, your assignment versus run and pass, and then what technique are we asking you to perform. And so within each defense, if my players are not able to spit back what their alignment is, what their technique is, and where their eyes supposed to be, and then, then execution, then I failed as a coach. And so with these guys being able to play the run in man-to-man coverage as well as zone, I've been very impressed. And with such a young room in the second year, and these guys are steady, just continually just to get a little better each and every week.
I just wanted to ask you quickly about Justin and how much like year 2 is for him, even though he's a veteran player. He looks like he's playing pretty free and easy and probably being a little bit more vocal this year. What does that mean for y'all? You
know, that Stanford education is coming into play because this man's ability to be able to recall information, almost a photographic memory as well, his ability to be able to go out and understand what was given to him 2-3 weeks ago and recall that and execute what we're asking them to do has been phenomenal. And so he's taken the steps that I would hope that he would take. And so with him going forward and with him playing free, he's playing so many different positions. He's playing free safety. He goes down and he plays dime linebacker. So he's just moving around all the time. He has done an excellent job with bringing the other guys along with him and knowing the checks before they happen. And as a safety, if you can know what's going to happen, not only versus a static formation, but then when they move right and left and what are we going to, you need that. That becomes a coach on the field, and that's what Justin has done for us, and he's doing a great job.